Hello and welcome to Idea TV Midday. I am Chinatu Oji. We begin with the headlines. NIMASA enforces House of Reps summons 11 electricity disputes over 2.6 trillion debt. And as ASEDIBA wins 2025 KOMLA DUMOR Award. UN Chief backs Africa's global renewable powerhouse at Japan-Africa Summit. Microsoft restricts Chinese firms' access to cybersecurity away from Africa. Netanyahu admits Israel faces challenges in winning over Gen Z. And in health, Olu of WARRI applauds TINUBU as 80-bed maternal child hospital opens in Delta. In business, U.S. oil exports to Africa drop as Niger boosts local production. And in sport, Senegal defeats the Tigers block semi-final spot at 2025 AFROBASKET. Now the news in full. Maritime operators in Nigeria are under renewed pressure to meet global environmental standards as the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency NIMASA steps up enforcement of Annex VI of the MAPOL Convention. The regulation focused on reducing air pollution from ships aligns with efforts by the International Maritime Organization IMO to curb harmful emissions and promote environmental sustainability across global shipping routes. NIMASA Director General Dr. Dayome Borola reiterated the agency's commitment to ensuring all vessels operating in Nigerian waters comply with the mandatory requirements. He emphasized that Nigeria's adherence to the MAPOL provisions supports broader goals of maritime safety, international regulatory alignment, and protection of marine ecosystems. A marine notice has been issued to guide ship owners and operators on their responsibilities under the law, while encouraging maritime investments. NIMASA has made it clear that environmental compliance will not be compromised. The directive is part of Nigeria's ongoing efforts to modernize its shipping industry and demonstrate leadership in global maritime environmental stewardship. Moving on, the House of Representatives of Public Accounts Committee has summoned 11 electricity distribution companies discos to explain an outstanding debt of 2.6 trillion naira owed to the Federation accounts. The summons follows a review of the 2021 Auditor General's report, which highlighted significant liabilities and irregularities in the power sector, including uncollected debt, shortfalls in institutional charges, and payments for undelivered electricity. Documents presented by the Nigerian Bulk Electricity Trading Company (NBET) confirmed the debt profile of the discos, with Abuja Disco owing 330.4 billion naira, Eco Disco with 231 billion naira, and other companies holding debt ranging from 107.4 billion naira to 325.7 billion naira. The Auditor General's report also flagged additional issues such as under-remittance below regulatory thresholds, unpaid invoices, and foreign firms' unsettled electricity export bills. Following deliberations, the committee directed all 11 discos to appear before it to clarify the positions and outline plans for repayments. Other market operators and participants cited in the report are also expected to be invited. The committee emphasized the need for accountability and transparency to resolve the mounting liabilities in Nigeria's power sector. In Ghana, a Ghanaian journalist, GODWIN has been named the winner of the 2025 BBC KOMLA DUMOR Award, marking the 10th anniversary of the prestigious accolade. The 29-year-old investigative reporter and filmmaker was recognized for his compelling human interest stories and dedication to amplifying the voices of marginalized communities across Ghana. Our judges praised Adesiba's commitment to journalistic integrity and his impactful reporting, including a notable investigation into poor conditions at one of Ghana's largest mortuaries. As part of the award, he will join the BBC in London for a 3-month placement, receiving training and mentorship from leading journalists while producing content across BBC, TV, radio, and online platforms. The award, established in memory of renowned Ghanaian BBC presenter KOMLA DUMOR, honors African journalists who embody his legacy of authentic and fearless storytelling. Adesiba will also report on a story from another African country for a global audience, continuing the tradition of impactful journalism carried forward by previous winners. And now, United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres has called for a major push in renewable energy investment across Africa, declaring the continent has all it needs to become a renewable superpower. Speaking at the Tokyo International Conference on African Development, TICAD, in Japan, Guterres stressed the importance of mobilizing finance, technology, and climate solutions to ensure Africa's natural wealth benefits its people and support global decarbonization efforts. The summit brought together African leaders and Japan's Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba, who unveiled plans to train 30,000 Africans in artificial intelligence and explore a Japan-African economic partnership. Guterres highlighted the debt burden many African nations face, exacerbated by shrinking Western aid and mounting liabilities to China and private lenders. He called for increased concessional finance and reformed multilateral lending to support development without deepening financial strain. With leaders such as Nigeria's Bola TINUBU, South Africa's Cyril Ramaphosa, and Kenya's William Ruto in attendance, discussions centered on transitioning from aid to long-term investment partnerships. Kenya revealed the talks with Toyota for 5,000 electric vehicles as part of its clean energy agenda, while Japan proposed a new trade network across African and Indian Ocean nations. Moving on, Microsoft has reduced Chinese companies' access to its cybersecurity early warning system, following suspicions that a recent wave of hacking attempts on its widely used SharePoint servers may have been linked to information leaks. The move comes after multiple attacks last month, which some experts attributed to Beijing, raising concerns that details shared through Microsoft's Active Protections Program MAP were misused. The program is designed to alert security vendors worldwide, including those in China, about vulnerabilities before they are publicly disclosed. The company had warned MAP members to SharePoint flaws on June 24th, July 3rd, and July 7th, but by July 7th, it observed exploitation attempts already underway. Cybersecurity experts noted that the timing suggested a possible leak from within the program, with attackers gaining early access to sensitive details. Beijing has denied any role in the cyber attacks, but the surge in malicious activity has intensified scrutiny on Microsoft's information sharing practices. As part of its new restrictions, Microsoft said several Chinese firms would no longer receive proof-of-concept notes, which replicates how malicious software operates. While such code helps defenders strengthen the system quickly, it can also be weaponized by hackers. Away from Africa, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has acknowledged that Israel needs to improve its appeal to younger generations in the West as public support among Gen Z shows signs of erosion. In an interview, he noted that protests against Israel's actions in Gaza are increasingly attracting young participants in Western capitals, and recent polls indicate a low favorability ratings among 18 to 34-year-olds in the United States. Netanyahu suggested that opposition among Gen Z is part of a broader campaign against the West without providing evidence or renaming the orchestrators. He emphasized that efforts to win over young people are ongoing, particularly as this demographic begins to assume political influence in Western countries. Meanwhile, Israel's military operations in Gaza continue to intensify. The defense minister approved a plan for the conquest of Gaza City and called up around 60,000 reservists aiming to exert pressure on Hamas, which began following Hamas' October 2023 attack on Israel, has resulted in thousands of casualties on both sides. We're now going on a quick break. The news continues on the other side. Welcome back. It's good to know you're still watching. If you're just joining us, this is still Idea TV Media News. Now, the rest of the stories. In health, the Olu of WARRI Ogiame Atuwase IV has commended President Bola Tinubu for establishing a new 80-bed specialist hospital in Ugwabuagwene, WARRI South local government area aimed at improving maternal and child health care. The facility built under the Sustainable Development Goals initiative was officially handed over to the Federal Medical Center and is expected to transform healthcare delivery in the region. At the inauguration, Delta State Governor Sheriff Oborewori described the hospital as a major step towards achieving health-related SDGs and aligned with the state's broader development agenda. He assured the public of the state's commitment to maintaining high operational standards, integrating the hospital into a wider healthcare system. Local leaders, including WARRI South Chairman Isaac Agbayet Riniro and FMC Asaba's Acting Medical Director, Dr. Ekenam Omo, hailed the facility as a response to rising health challenges. With comprehensive wards, ICU, theatre and lab facilities, the hospital is poised to reduce mortality rates and expand access to essential health care for women and children in the area. And now in business, oil exports from the United States to Africa fell for the 5th consecutive month, hitting a 3-year low of 3.3 million barrels per day in July 2025, according to the latest OPEC report. The decline was largely attributed to reduced demand from key African buyers, including Nigeria, where increased local refining capacity and domestic crude production have lessened the need for imports. The ramp-up of local production, particularly through the 650,000 BPD Dangote refinery and other facilities, has contributed to Nigeria's output reaching its highest level in OPEC reported a year-on-year increase of 11% in Nigeria's crude production, reaching 1,559 million BPD in July. The Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission also confirmed peak output surpassing 1.8 million BPD, crediting strategic funds and coordinated stakeholder efforts. Regulators say continued gains are expected as the country optimizes production efficiency and minimizes disruptions. The developments support the federal government's ambition to scale up output sustainably dependence on foreign crude imports. And now in sports, Senegal's men's basketball team delivered a decisive performance, beating Nigeria's the Tigers 91-75 in the AFROBASKET Championship in Angola. The match was a form of revenge for Senegal, which lost to Nigeria's the Tigresses in last month's women's AFROBASKET tournament. The first quarter was closely contested, with Nigeria edging Senegal 24-23. The Africans dominated the next 2 quarters to establish a comfortable lead. Senegal surged ahead in the second quarter, winning 30-18 and taking a 53-42 lead at halftime. The third quarter saw the Tigers struggle further, losing 23-13, leaving them with a significant deficit. Despite a strong comeback in the fourth quarter, winning 20-15, Nigeria could not close the gap, resulting in a 16-point loss. The victory brought the head-to-head record between the teams to 5-4 in favor of the Tigers. Senegal's Branco Badio led all scorers with 32 points, posting a rate of 29%. While Nigeria's star player Joshua Kogie was effectively neutralized, scoring only 4 points compared to 33 that he had contributed in the early group stage game. And that's all we have for your Nigeria TV Midday News. But before we go, here's a quick recap of the headlines. NIMASA enforces global pollution standards on ships in Nigerian waters. House of Reps summoned 11 electricity discos over 2.6 trillion debt. Ghana's GODWIN wins 2025 KOMLA DUMOR Award. UN chief backs Africa's global renewable powerhouse at Japan-Africa Summit. Microsoft restricts Chinese firms' access to cybersecurity systems. Away from Africa, Netanyahu admits Israel faces challenges in winning over Gen Z. And in health, Olu of WARRI applauds TINUBU's 80-bed maternal child hospital opens in Delta. In business, U.S. oil exports to Africa drop as Nigeria boosts local production. And finally, in sports, Senegal defeats the Tigers, block semi-final spot at 2025 AfroBasket. Do not forget to follow the programs at Idea TV. I'm AUG. Enjoy the rest of your day.